Bizarre driving laws from around the world. Number 24. Sleigh on the highway. You don't have to keep your horse-drawn sleigh on small snow-filled streets if you're in Ontario. According to wheels.ca, you may actually drive along the roads on the highway in a sleigh, but on one condition: have no fewer than 2 bells jingling on that sleigh. Number 23. Headlights must be on. When driving in Sweden, make sure your headlights are always on when you're driving. Whether it's in the middle of the day, middle of the night, overcast, or a clear sunny day, your headlights must be on in Sweden. This is especially strange considering the fact that in June, some parts of the country, the sun never sets. Number 22. No nighties while driving. This is one of those laws that is unbelievably archaic, but has managed to stay in the law books. California state law states that no woman is allowed to drive a car in her nightgown, punishable by fine. Number 21. No trash in your car. If you've ever driven your own car, then you know how easy it is for trash to start to accumulate in it. In the state of South Carolina, it's actually illegal for you to do this. You are legally not allowed to store trash in your vehicle. It's not because everyone in the state is a clean freak. Actually, the law was instituted to help combat the local rat infestation problem. Number 20. Windshield wipers required. In Luxemburg, all cars are absolutely required to have windshield wipers, even if that particular car doesn't have a windshield. Number 19. No traffic laws. There are certain parts of the world where intersections aren't demarcated or have any rules. Instead, intersections are just large swaths of concrete that motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians can all freely go through. While this may seem like it can cause a serious amount of traffic incidents, it actually forces everyone to share a space and be more conscious of one another, resulting in less accidents as a whole. Number 18. No underwear rags in San Francisco. Yes, in San Francisco, it's illegal for you to use underwear as a rag to wash your car. In one of the most liberal cities in America, you might be surprised that such a strict rule would be in place. It seems that there may have been a few car washing businesses that were repurposing old pairs of underwear for car washing rags, as the law only applies to businesses. We guess we should just feel glad that they put it in motion. Number 17. No drinking in Cyprus. We're all taught to avoid drinking and driving at all costs because of the dangers it could impose onto you and others. However, Cyprus takes this law to the next level. You are technically not allowed to eat or drink anything while operating a vehicle in Cyprus, which includes even taking a sip of water. While this may not be used in practice, the law does exist de jure. Number 16. Don't shake your fist. Cyprus has more than just their no drinking water law. They have also passed a law that makes it illegal to shake your fist at other drivers in Cyprus. As tempting as it can be to do an obscene gesture at other drivers while commuting through rush hour traffic, it is actually illegal to do so there. Number 15. Lantern lets you go your own way. In Alabama, it's apparently perfectly legal for you to drive the wrong way down a one-way road. The only catch is that you have to have a lantern attached to your vehicle. While this law might protect you from driving down the wrong way down the street, it doesn't protect you from any collisions that might occur. Number 14. Always have a breathalyzer. Up until as recently as 2012, French drivers were required to have a breathalyzer in their vehicle at all times in order to check their blood alcohol content at the drop of a nail. However, this requirement turned out to be hard to enforce since breathalyzers weren't being manufactured at a rate to meet citizen needs. It seemed to work while the law was in effect, however, as auto accidents and fatalities dropped 8%. Number 13. No shirtless driving. Even if you're commuting on a particularly hot day in Thailand, you absolutely cannot operate a vehicle without a shirt. Going for a bare-chested commute can result in a fine of a few hundred baht, or around $10. While the fine is relatively small, it mostly serves as a deterrent to shirtless driving. Number 12. Don't get near pedestrians. Singapore is a bit infamous for their odd laws that are harshly enforced, but this one is truly weird. Come within 50 feet of a pedestrian in Singapore and you can be landed with a pretty heavy fine, as well as being rudely yelled at by the pedestrian in question. Number 11. No sitting. In Reno, Nevada, there are traffic signs that forbid standing in the middle of the road. To avoid any troublemakers taking any super literal interpretations of these no standing signs, there was a law passed that specifically made it illegal to place a bench or chair in the middle of the road to have a seat. We always thought it was probably illegal to put a couch or chair in the middle of the road anywhere, though. Number 10. Driving in a bikini. For many years, there was a statute in Kentucky law that stated no female shall appear in a bathing suit on any highway within this state unless she can be escorted by at least 2 officers. This strange and archaic law was thankfully later amended. This statute shall not apply to females weighing less than 90 pounds, nor exceeding 200 pounds, nor shall it apply to female horses. In hindsight, that seems even more archaic. Luckily, this strange law was finally weeded out from the law books in 1975, so feel free to drive around Kentucky in all your bikini-clad glory. Number 9. No parking in front of Dunkin' Donuts. There is a specific Dunkin' Donuts in Maine that you cannot park in front of without breaking the law. While it may seem ridiculous that you aren't allowed to park in front of Dunkin' Donuts, this particular Dunkin' Donuts in Maine is situated just so that if you park in front of it, you could create a critical traffic jam. Number 8. Don't run out of gas in Germany. If you're driving down Germany's infamous Autobahn, you better make sure your car is fully gassed up. If you run out of fuel on the Autobahn and have to pull over, you are officially breaking the law. Make sure you never get onto the freeway unless you're completely sure that you have enough gas in the tank to get you from point A to point B. Number 7. Don't be a passenger to a drunk driver. In Japan, they take drinking and driving super seriously. After a single beer, your blood alcohol content would be high enough to get you fined. If your blood alcohol content is higher than 0.03%, you could be sentenced up to 5 years in prison or face a massive fine of $10,000. It gets even more serious than that, though. Being a passenger in a car to a drunk driver, even if you are sober, can result in more fines and prosecution. Even the bar that you got that alcohol at can be fined since they allowed you to get behind the wheel after drinking. Number 6. Dirty cars are outlawed. While cars can drive around with any amount of mud caked onto them in America, this is not the case in Russia. Having a dirty car while driving around the country in Russia can result in a fine of 2,000 rubles, or the equivalent of about $35 US. Number 5. Always have another set of glasses. In Spain, if you require a set of seeing glasses to wear while driving, you are legally required to have another set of glasses ready to go somewhere in your car. This sort of makes sense, just in case somehow the pair of glasses you're wearing on your face fly out of the window. You have to wonder what happens if you accidentally lose both pairs, though. Number 4. Changing clothes in your car. In the city of Evanston, Illinois, it is unlawful to change clothes in your vehicle unless there's a fire. This random rule seems a bit outdated and might possibly refer to retro vans that have curtains on the passenger doors. Just be sure to light a small fire in your car if you have to do some sort of outfit quick change between events in Evanston. Number 3. No driving ban. If you've seen pictures or videos of what traffic looks like in Manila, you'll know that only the bravest of heart can survive it. In order to attempt to reduce the amount of vehicles in the road on any given day, the government bans driving certain cars on certain days of the week. If your license plate ends in 1 or 2, you cannot drive on Monday. If it ends in 3 or 4, you cannot drive on Tuesday, and so on. As long as it's the weekend, feel free to venture out into that Manila traffic without having to do any math. Number 2. No camels on the freeway. While the deserts of Nevada might feel as dry as the dunes of North Africa, it is actually illegal for you to drive a camel on the highway. This seems to imply that it is either legal to drive a camel through any other street of Nevada, or that it is legal to drive a camel on the freeways of other American states. Number 1. Speed limit enforced by aircraft. Have you ever seen those traffic signs while driving on the interstates of America? It may seem like there's no way that speed limits would be enforced by an aircraft, but in fact, they are. A police aircraft will track the amount of time it takes a car to travel between 2 distances and calculate to see if you're violating the speed limit. If so, they can contact a police car on the ground who will promptly track you down and hand you a speeding ticket.